Hello, I'm I Smile a Lot, and welcome to the RPGTO DM tutorial importing VTT maps from Dramscape. So far, they're the only ones I know how to use, and I like a lot of them. They are not paying me to say that, so I'm very able to say what I do and don't like. And I like them enough to use them, and I like them enough to show you how to use them. So let's get to it. First of all, I'm going to start by showing you where I get them, and I get them from Drive-Thru RPG. Love those guys. I have never had a problem with Drive-Thru RPG yet, and they keep all my files in a library. So I have them, they have them. I like triple redundancy because I also put them in Dropbox. Anyway, what am I looking for? I am looking for a number of things. I'm looking for VTT files. I'm looking for no overlay, and I am looking for 360. So this is not what I want. This offhand looks like a mod. It has maps, but it doesn't have what I want. So let's go back and show you what I'm looking for. Hmm, looks like a mod, without reading it. So back to the first page, and let's see. Well, let's get past the bundles if we can. Western Keep, full color 3-inch, 3-story keep surrounded by a moat, includes the VTT files for online play, but does not look like it includes the 360. And just, having bought a number of these, the ones that are more floors tend to not have the 360 panoramic view, and that's what I'm after for a lot of these. I have bought a number of them, and specifically for that 360 panoramic view, because I really wanted to add more pop and sizzle quickly and easily to my games, and so that my players really had something more than a 2D map to look at. So here we go. This old cemetery, love this one. And it tells you it comes with hex, square, and no overlay. That's important. No overlay means it does not have to be edited or as heavily edited. It does need still some editing for use in the VTT, or at least the GTO VTT, which is the only one I'm really familiar with. It also tells me it has that 360, so I can really give my players a panoramic view of a cemetery. We know guys are very, very visually oriented, and so consequently, I want to give them that visual. All right, I have bought a number of these already, so let's go to my computer files. As you can see, I've already bought the rooftop temple, the skull throne, the armory, the folly, the library, the observatory, the cemetery, the ossuary, the study. Okay, I want to go back and I need to unzip these because these are all zip files. So I'm going to unzip them. And I unzip them by right-clicking, extracting all, and extract. Now, I've completed the extraction, and I've actually extracted 2 files. This one I renamed extracted, you can see from the timestamp, and that just lets me know. This one I forgot to rename extracted, but when I right-click on it, it does not tell me that I can extract it, so I know that that's the correct file. So once we have extracted the files, we need to actually extract each individual file. So right click, again, extract all, and this time I'm going to rename it extracted. And this just really keeps a zip file much quicker and easier to upload. I use Dropbox, whichever system you use. And the reason I use Dropbox is because it's very, very easy for me to share it as a public folder. So I'm going to go ahead and unzip or extract all of these files. It's very much quicker than when I'm unzipping and extracting all of them together. Pause you. Okay, so here you see where I've extracted all the files, and I've extracted them from both the 1130 and from the 1146 downloads. Love Drive-Thru RPG. Never ever had a problem with them. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. When we go into the rooftop temple, we see that it has a VTT file. Um, I don't even really like that, so I'm not even going to bother with it. When we go into the skull throne, it's got a 360, it's got a VTT. I'm going to copy that and then go into my desktop and just paste it. Right click and paste. Okay, go back. And here's the 360. When I open that up, I'm actually going to go and take that into Dropbox because Dropbox is going to let me share that with my players really, really quickly and easily. So let's go back. The Armory. The Armory is an example of a 360 that is much better in the 360. Not a big fan of it in the 2D. And I have to say, there's a number of the drive-through RPG ones that I feel that way about. The 2D is okay, the 3D is lovely. The library. When we go to the 360 of the library, it's just beautiful. When we go to the 2D, the 2D is okay. And so let's go ahead and copy that. We right-click on it, go back to our desktop, an open space, and paste. Okay, I'm going to do that with a couple of them. The observatory, the old cemetery, great, absolutely great in the 360. The 2D is massively huge, and I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that into the desktop so that I can show you that. Right, so going back, the 360, I want that panoramic view in Dropbox, and so I'm going to put that there so that I can show that to you. The study. Let's just go ahead and grab that 360 because I have already done this a number of times and can show you the study already because I've already imported it. And already imported the 360 for the study as well. Okay, do we need any more of these? The library. Nope. Right, let's see if there's any of the 1130s that I really want to show you. Capped Volcano, just beautiful. Dragon Throne, Grove of Hands. I want to show you the arena tiles. This is just a plain PDF. Honestly, not really, in my opinion, worth my time. I can probably do something drawing-wise that is just as fast. But I was picking up other things, so I went ahead and picked that up. And this is one of the reasons why I say you want the no overlay. Because when you have the overlay, then these squares have got to be matched to 50 pixels per square so that it matches with the VTT and so that you don't have crosshairs and misalignments and all kinds of wonky problems. These Dramscape files are still made with both hex and overlay, and in this format can be used. I mean, definitely easily used. There is a no overlay VTT file, and if that's what you want, awesome. Can save you some time. It's a bit simplistic for me, so I don't use it. Capped Volcano. Pretty sure I already have this in Dropbox. Okay. And anything else? Mountain Pass. Let's go ahead and take that one. You'll see the VTT file. Very nice. the 360. Okay. So let's go ahead and go back one. I think I do want to take that VTT file. Copy that, go to desktop, and paste it. Alright, that's enough of that. You'll see where I have a number of these. This was something I was working on before I made the tutorial, but now I have a number of these. Now if I go into my table and I upload images, when you look at the images on the desktop, you'll see that there are not nearly the number of images. In fact, none of them are showing. And that's because they are way too large. The VTT will not even recognize files that are too large. So how do we change that? We go to GIMP. We open it. We go to the desktop. And here we see the files. As I said, the VTT will not recognize files that are larger than 1.5 megabytes. So very often when you have the PNG files, it's enough to take them to, and these are all larger PNGs, so if it's under a 5 megabyte PNG, usually just converting it to the JPEG will um, decrease the file size enough that you can just import it. Greater than 5, it still needs some work. I also want to take a quick look at the size of the image. 2413. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and change this to 00 so that it completely matches up with my scale, at least on one side. Okay, so you need a size that is smaller than 3700 pixels. And the reason that's important is because the VTT is 74 squares by 74 squares, 50 pixels, and we're exporting it, by the way. So once we export it, we want to change it to a JPEG file. And back to 50 pixels, 3700 by 3700 pixels. Anything bigger than that is either going to get chopped off, and if you're okay with the chopping, fine. If it's not okay with the chopping, then just edit it down and scale the image so that it's smaller, just like I did. So, ground floor, when we convert it to the JPEG, we export it. This is going to take it to about a 2.2, 2.5 megapixels, and you'll see that when we go back into GIMP, the ground floor JPEG is actually 1.5 megapixels. We don't need to do anything else to it. So how about the cemetery? The cemetery is a JPEG file. Okay, we're going to open that up. It is 16.3 megabytes. It is 10 times larger than what we can accept. And if we scale the image, we actually find out that the image also is 4,000 pixels. So we change that to 3700, scale the image, and now we're going to be able to get all of it into our VT maps. So now I want to export it. I'm going to change it to 2 so that you can see the size difference. Okay. And when we export it, it's going to ask us, see this 98? We are 10 times larger than we need to be, so we're going to need to take the quality down dramatically. Let's make sure that that worked for us. Oh wow, way smaller than we needed to take it down. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and import it like that with the quality markedly decreased. And you're going to see that actually it still works. So, let's take the mountain pass. That's a JPEG. And yes. Wait a minute. Let's cancel that. Because we really want to open it, not export it. Well, and we can actually close without saving because it's already in our desktop. So, File, Open. Let's go ahead and take the mountain pass. That's the one we wanted to work with next. Nice. Take a look at my image size. Okay, definitely need to take that down a whole heck of a lot so that we can get all of that image. Next thing we do is export it. Mountain Pass 2. Let's see what just 50% takes us down to. Wow, okay. Took us down to the 1.5 that we needed. So now, what happens if we just try to export the PNG? Opening it, exporting it. When we try to export the PNG, it gives us this wonky screen that doesn't let us resize it. So that's why it's important to change it to a JPEG file. Or I shouldn't say resize it, because it will let us rescale the image, i.e. resize it. What it doesn't let us do is take the quality down, or at least not that I could figure out. So we do it this way. And you know what? I'm going to export it as is. As I said, a lot of times just taking it to JPEG reduces the size substantially. And roof VTT JPEG. It's now 1.2 megabytes. And that's all we need to do to it. Okay. Now let's go to our VTT. We can close all of this out. And go into our table, images. Now I want to upload the images that I have edited. And here we see where we didn't have any of the pictures before. Now we have the cemetery, the ground floor, the mountain pass, the roof. And to upload the image. Uh-oh. Which one was that? I think it was the cemetery. Let's try that. Okay, while it's uploading, it is going to cost 6 GTO gold pieces to upload it. Okay, while it is uploading, I'm going to grab a new map. And there's the cemetery. Use as a map. Hopefully it's a cemetery. If not, we get to rename it. And I want to caution you, I'm showing you how to do this, but it's not something I do a lot. And that's because for some players, it will lag the table out so badly that they will not even be able to play. They absolutely cannot play, and they absolutely have to relog. You'll see that since I edited the size, we get it all of the edges. Okay, I've done this particular map once before. I'm just showing you all the walls, and this one I did not know it was so large. Before this, I had not had a problem with those files. They were all smaller than the 3700, usually by a good amount. So up until the cemetery, I did not even worry about the size. Here you see it cut off. It's still very much a usable map, but since I am bothered by what I know, and since I knew it had cut off, I resized it. Okay, so let's go ahead and upload a few more images. Um, let's take the mountain pass. And if you'll recall, this one was huge. Grabbing a new map. Once it's uploaded, we can take Mountain Pass and we can use it as a map. And remember, it will always pin to this upper left-hand corner. You have absolutely no control as to where it pins to. You absolutely cannot manipulate it once it's in. All that editing has got to occur before you bring it to the VTT. And here we have it, Mountain Pass. Looks like some nice ballista. These guys are ready for a little bit of action. Think they've had a few adventurers here before? Okay, so you also, once you bring it in, want to rename it so that you know what it is. Oops. Alrighty. Now, that said, why do I keep emphasizing the 360, the 360, the 360? Well, let's go to Dropbox and find out. Done with GIMP, so Dropbox. If you'll recall, I've already placed some of those V360 maps in Dropbox. Once I do that, I come to Dropbox and I find them. Folders are always at the top, individual items are at the bottom, so I can automatically go just right to the bottom. I can, ahead of time, if I do this, I can go ahead and just move them into the public file and share the link from there, or I can get link. Okay, link copied to clipboard. So now I go back into my VTT and I paste it. And we've got the Dragon Throne, the study, and let's see. Let's go ahead. Oh, the Skull Throne. Share the link. Get the link. Once it's copied, you can take it into Dropbox. Okay. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the Dragon Throne map. I've got this Dragon Throne, the study, the Mountain Pass, and the Skull Throne. Alright, so let's take a look at the Skull Throne map. I'm okay with this. It's definitely solid, and you can actually, once it's here, you can totally place tiles on top of it. Um, let's go for 4x4 thrones, shall we? These would be for his exarchs. Okay, go back so that you eliminate that, and you can enhance it just a little bit. And even take it. Easy to do. And you can add as much or as little as you like. Let's see, the Dragon Throne, definitely underwhelming in the 2D. The panorama is nice. And the observatory roof does not come with a 360. The tavern, I've added a few elements, not many, didn't need to. The tavern is a solid map, and this is an example of something that I would be very, very, very happy to pay a few dollars, $3.99 or whatever it was, to save myself the 10, 20 or more hours to get a decent looking tavern. I have them, you know, I use them, and I certainly would, if my player gets lagged out, would use would spend the 10 hours making a tavern rather than have one of my players have trouble. Doesn't mean I can't use these files though, because I can totally give him a 360 because that's a separate link, will not lag him out. He just looks it up online and bypasses the table altogether. So you can still use these images, um, and it all depends on your players' computer systems as to whether they're lagged out or not. And I can't tell you how that happens. Um, who it's going to be. One of my players lags him out 100% every single time. Got a fantastic computer. He's an engineer. He knows what he's doing around his computer system. Has gamed for years. He gets lagged out, period, the end of it. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up a new window. They will download the Dragon Throne, and you know, they might not have to go through this step if I had unzipped it first. So maybe a little bit of experimenting would have me actually unzipping all of this and sharing it afterwards. So they download it, and now when it opens up, oh yeah, allow blocked content for me anyway. And now we have a Dragon Throne. When you left click on it, you can just drag the mouse, slow or fast. I like both. Definitely like it both ways. Um, and so we can give our players nice visual, a little bit more action. You see a balcony up there, so they paid attention to a lot of the different angles. Angle is always important. Definitely for me anyway. Right, you can zoom in and out. Let's take a look at a few more. So the study, again, I pasted the link. I copied it into a new tab and then downloaded it. And once I do that, and once my players do that, then they've got this, you know, just really, really wonderful visual of a room. As I said, guys are very visual creatures. So let's give them something worth looking at. And this is definitely worth looking at. Best we can get and still be legal to show. This is the mountain pass. And you see, those aren't ballista at all. Those are actually places for lights. You could, oh my goodness, I definitely would make those cages where things were bound and you could hear their screams, you know, begging for release throughout the mountain pass, echoing as a warning to those who would dare to trespass. Not bad, not great, but not bad. And let's see, the Skull Throne. Um, we've already seen that in the 2D. I don't think we need to see it in the 3D. I definitely think you've gotten more than the idea of what you can do with these. Now, this is just the way I do it. If you know another way to do it, absolutely do it that way, especially if it's easier. That's the end of this tutorial. This is I Smile a Lot. Happy gaming.